Atlanta is trembling tonight, and the streets of social media are on fire. Rasheeda Frost just did the unthinkable. She hit that share button and leaked a private chat that has the entire love and hip-hop world gasping for air. The chat wasn't between random people, either. It was between Jasmine Washington and Kendra Robinson, two women who should have never been caught plotting anything together. Especially not something this personal, this low, and this cold. And what were they talking about? Ruining Rasheeda's marriage to Kirk Frost. The same man who has already dragged her through public humiliation, infidelity scandals, and endless rumors. But this time, it wasn't Kirk, it was the women she thought had moved on, quietly, who were scheming behind the scenes. It all started when Rasheeda's stylist texted her screenshots that were circulating in a private group chat, screenshots showing Jasmine and Kendra laughing, trading voice notes, and talking about a plan to expose Kirk's new move before Rasheeda could. One of the messages read, "Let's make her look like she's living a lie again." Another said, "If Kirk slips once, we got her. Let's set it up." Nobody knew whether it was fake, edited, or real until Rasheeda confirmed it herself. She went live on Instagram, sitting in her boutique office. With that calm before the storm energy, her voice trembling but her eyes steady. "Since y'all like to play behind my back," she said, "let's see how y'all handle the truth in front of everybody." Then she showed the chat, line by line, no filter, no hesitation. Fans flooded the comments with disbelief. "Ain't no way Jasmine and Kendra working together," one wrote. "This is wild." Another said, "Not the two side women teaming up on the wife." Within minutes, gossip blogs picked it up. Headlines spinning faster than anyone could keep up. Everyone wanted to know the same thing. Why? What pushed these two to join forces against Rasheeda, when both had their own messy history with the Frosts? Was it jealousy, revenge, or something deeper? By midnight, the video had gone viral. Kirk hadn't spoken, Jasmine's phone was off, and Kendra had already deleted her Instagram. Rasheeda's name trended #1 in Atlanta. And Mona Scott herself was rumored to have called the producers for an emergency meeting. Nobody had seen drama like this since the infamous cabin trip in season 9. The betrayal cut through every corner of the fandom. Even those who weren't Team Rasheeda couldn't believe the audacity of this plot. And the way Rasheeda handled it, cool, composed, but clearly heartbroken, only made it more haunting. What no one knew yet was how deep this story actually went. Because the chat Rasheeda leaked wasn't just gossip, it hinted at secrets, recordings, and even a staged setup that could destroy more than just a marriage. It could tear down reputations, friendships, and everything these women had built for the cameras and beyond. And as the night unfolds, the truth behind this leaked chat is about to turn Atlanta upside down. Atlanta didn't sleep that night. Phones buzzed, messages poured in, and the city's gossip veins pulsed like electricity. Everyone was talking about the same thing: Rasheeda's live, that 20-minute explosion that left fans speechless and enemies silent. Nobody expected her to go that far, but she did. And once she leaked those messages, there was no going back. It wasn't just another petty love and hip-hop moment. This was personal, raw, and dangerous. You could almost feel the tension through the screen. She sat there in that cream blazer, no makeup, tears running down, voice steady but trembling with rage. "I've been quiet too long," she said, her eyes glistening. "They thought I wouldn't find out, but I always do." And that's when she scrolled, revealing the chat that sent shockwaves through Atlanta's entertainment circle. The messages were full of laughter, shade, and strategy. Jasmine had written something like, "She thinks she got Kirk under control. Let's test that theory." Kendra replied with laughing emojis, adding, "Oh, I got something that'll shake her world up." Then came the voice note. Rasheeda hit play, and everyone watching froze. It was Kendra's voice, clear as day, saying, "Once we put it out, she won't know what hit her." That single line turned the internet inside out. Within seconds, blogs were reposting it, podcasts were reacting live, and every comment section turned into chaos. "This can't be real," one fan wrote. "Why would Kendra do this? She's married to Scrappy's lawyer." Another replied, "Girl, in Atlanta, loyalty don't mean nothing anymore." By sunrise, Jasmine was already trending. She tried to post a quick story saying, "Y'all believe anything," but that only made things worse. People zoomed in on her nails, her room background, the angle of her phone, everything matched the leaked screenshot. It was like watching a digital detective show in real time. Fans were sending side-by-side comparisons, proving she couldn't deny it. Meanwhile, Kendra stayed completely silent. Her page was dark. Number stories, no tweets. And that silence made her look guilty. While the internet exploded, Rasheeda sat at home surrounded by family. Kirk had walked in late, trying to calm things down, but she wasn't having it. "Don't she said, holding up her hand. Don't tell me to calm down. You knew something. Kirk shook his head, confused but nervous. Baby, I swear, I didn't know nothing about no chat. She laughed bitterly. You never know. That's the problem. Her mom, Miss Shirlene, was pacing behind her, muttering under her breath, Lord, these girls play too much. They ain't got no respect. Even Kai and Carter were sent upstairs because the energy in that house was heavy. Later that evening, Mona Scott called Rasheeda personally. It wasn't about damage control, it was about opportunity. Listen, Mona said, her voice firm but calm. We need to address this. The fans are eating it up. I'm sending cameras tomorrow. Rasheeda hesitated, but part of her knew she couldn't run from it. Fine, she replied, but I'm not scripting nothing. This time, it's real. Mona agreed. That's what makes it good TV. The next day, production vans lined the street outside Frost Bistro. Crew members set up cameras, microphones, and lighting. Kirk looked uneasy as he adjusted his jacket. You sure about this? He asked. Rasheeda didn't answer. She was scrolling through her phone, checking the latest blogs. Headlines screamed, Rasheeda exposes Kendra and Jasmine's secret plot. Atlanta in shock. Kirk caught in the middle again. She sighed. They already running with it, so might as well give them the truth. When Jasmine arrived at the restaurant that afternoon, her energy was defensive. Sunglasses on, hair pulled back tight, walking like she owned the room. I came here to clear my name, she said the moment cameras rolled. Rasheeda crossed her arms. Then start talking. Jasmine smirked. You believe everything you see online now. Girl, Rasheeda snapped. I heard your voice. Jasmine rolled her eyes. That could be edited. People fake everything these days. Kirk jumped in, but why your messages match the screenshots? She looked at him sharply. You stay out of this. Kirk, last time you got involved, you made it worse. That line cut deep. Rasheeda's face tightened, the tension rising like heat. Meanwhile, Kendra still hadn't shown up. Producers kept whispering behind the cameras, texting her, calling her, nothing. Until finally, one assistant said, she's here. And when she walked in, silence filled the room. She didn't look scared. She looked furious. Y'all wanna talk about betrayal, she said, pulling off her coat. Let's talk about all the secrets that didn't make it to the internet. The crew froze. Rasheeda blinked. Jasmine's smirk vanished. What's that supposed to mean? Rasheeda asked. Kendra stepped closer, lowering her voice. You think I'm the one plotting against you? Maybe you should check who been recording behind your back. The entire atmosphere changed. Producers exchanged nervous glances. Kirk looked pale. What are you talking about? Rasheeda asked, trying to keep her tone steady. Kendra looked right at Kirk. You know what I'm talking about? And for the first time, Kirk couldn't hold her gaze. That tiny moment of hesitation was enough to shift everything. Rasheeda's stomach dropped. Kirk, she whispered, what did you do? He rubbed his hands over his face. Nothing like that, I swear. But I might have said something to somebody that got twisted. Twisted, she snapped. So you were talking to them. He sighed. They reached out to me about a project. Something about branding. I didn't know they were setting you up. Jasmine laughed bitterly. So now we the villains again. Typical. Rasheeda turned toward her, eyes blazing. You played with my marriage for clout. Don't you dare act like a victim. Jasmine leaned back, unfazed. You're the one that made this public, not me. You love being the hero. That's your brand. Kendra interrupted. Stop acting like you innocent. Jasmine, you dragged me into this. Jasmine turned to her. Girl, please. You were already in the group chat before I even said a word. That's when production cut to commercial. But what happened next would shake the whole cast. Off camera, Kendra pulled out her phone and played a recording. Everyone leaned in as Kirk's voice came through, soft but clear. Yeah, I mean, if Jasmine wanna do a little segment for views, that's fine. Just don't tell Sheeda till it's ready. Rasheeda's hand flew to her mouth. You let them film something about me. Kirk stammered. It wasn't like that. It was supposed to be harmless promotion. Kendra locked eyes with Rasheeda. Harmless. He's the one who told us how to get your views, headlines, engagement. Rasheeda stepped back, shaking her head. No, you lying. Kirk's silence told her everything. Outside, fans were already gathered near Frost Bistro, holding up phones, recording everything they could see. It was chaos. Police even had to come and control the crowd because people were screaming, Rasheeda, we love you. Kirk, how could you? Inside, Mona Scott whispered to a producer. This is gold. She knew the episode would explode once it aired. But Rasheeda wasn't thinking about ratings anymore. She felt betrayed by everyone in that room. The people she trusted had turned her pain into a storyline. Later that night, Cameras followed her as she drove home alone. She didn't talk, just stared out the window while the city lights blurred past. Her phone kept buzzing. Miss Charlene, Carly read, even Spice had called. Everyone wanted to check on her. When she finally answered her mom, her voice was barely a whisper. Mama, they played me. Miss Charlene said softly, baby, you stronger than all of them. Let God handle it. Rasheeda nodded, but her heart was heavy. She wasn't sure how to forgive something this public, this cruel. Meanwhile, Jasmine and Kendra met privately at a hotel bar later that night, away from cameras. They ordered drinks, both exhausted and angry. Jasmine said, you see how he flipped it? Made it look like we plotted this alone. Kendra sighed. That's Kirk's specialty. He makes women look crazy while he sits quiet. They clinked glasses, both laughing bitterly. But deep down, they knew things had gone too far. They had stirred something that wouldn't be easy to fix. As they talked, a fan sitting nearby secretly recorded their conversation, posting a clip online with the caption, "So they still hanging out? Guess they really did it together." The clip went viral within minutes. Comments exploded again. These women messy for real. Kendra and Jasmine playing victim. Rasheeda deserves better. The chaos only grew, and by the next morning, the entire Love and Hip Hop production team was scrambling. The reunion was coming up, and everyone knew it would be explosive. But behind the cameras, the story wasn't as simple as it looked. Because what no one knew yet was that there was another chat, one nobody had seen. And in that chat was proof that someone else, someone unexpected, had started the whole thing. And that truth was about to come out. The sun rose over Atlanta, but peace didn't. By morning, everyone involved in the scandal was already in damage control mode. Rasheeda hadn't slept, scrolling endlessly through mentions, reposts, and reactions. Every blogger had their own version of the story. Some said she overreacted, others said she finally stood up for herself. But one headline hit harder than the rest. The mastermind behind the chat may not be Jasmine or Kendra. She stared at it for a long time before setting her phone down. Who else could be behind it? She'd seen their names, heard their voices. It didn't make sense. Kirk tried to talk to her again, standing in the doorway with that familiar guilty look. "Babe, please," he started, but she cut him off. "Don't. Not until you're ready to tell me everything." His silence filled the room louder than words. Down the street, Carly Red was already filming her confessional. "Baby, I told y'all Atlanta don't sleep when drama hits," she said into the camera, shaking her head. Rasheeda, leaking that chat. Phew, she's tired of being played, and I don't blame her. But if she think that's the full story, she got another thing coming. Producers knew Carly couldn't keep a secret, and they counted on her to stir the pot. Before noon, she was already calling Spice, telling her, "Girl, you won't believe who's really behind this mess." Spice gasped, "Don't tell me it's Kirk, Mama." Carly laughed. Worse. By the afternoon, Rasheeda showed up at Frost Bistro again for a closed-door meeting with producers. She wore sunglasses and a baseball cap, trying to avoid the paparazzi waiting outside. Inside, Mona Scott sat at the corner booth, serious for once. "Look," Mona said, "this thing is bigger than we thought. Someone leaked behind-the-scenes footage of y'all filming yesterday. It's all over social media." Rasheeda frowned. "What footage?" Mona showed her phone, and there it was, raw clips of her confrontation with Jasmine and Kendra, posted on a gossip account with the caption, "Exclusive footage, the real reason Rasheeda leaked the chat." The audio was clear enough to catch her crying, slamming the table, and shouting Kirk's name. "How'd they even get this?" she whispered. Mona exhaled. "Someone inside production. We're investigating." That night, Jasmine was back at her apartment, pacing in her robe. Her phone wouldn't stop buzzing. People she hadn't talked to in years were texting her. Reporters wanted statements. Even her ex was trying to get a quote. She poured herself a drink and muttered, "They got me looking like a villain again." Her friend Tori, sitting on the couch, said, "Girl, you kinda are." Jasmine shot her a glare. "Please, Kirk was in it too. Nobody wanna talk about that?" She sat down, scrolling through her phone until she froze on one message. It was from an unknown number. It said, "Check who edited that video. Not all voices are real." She stared at it, confused. What does that even mean? Meanwhile, Kendra was at her office trying to act normal, pretending the world wasn't collapsing around her. But her assistant could tell something was off. "You okay, boss?" she asked gently. Kendra sighed. "I'm fine. Just tired of being lied on." Her assistant hesitated before saying, "Well, someone sent an email to the firm with a video attachment. You might want to see it." Kendra clicked it open, and her jaw dropped. It was a clip of Jasmine talking to a man off camera, saying, "She think I'm on her side. Wait till she see what's next." Kendra's hands trembled. Who recorded this? Her assistant shook her head. It's labeled anonymous. The plot thickened fast. By that evening, Jasmine's video clip was everywhere. People accused her of double-crossing Kendra. The internet flipped again, calling her the real snake. Jasmine played everyone. One headline read, "In a desperate move, Jasmine went live to defend herself." Her eyes were puffy, her voice shaking. "That video's old," she said. "It's edited, y'all. They tryna make me look crazy again." Comments flooded in, some supportive, most ruthless. "Girl bye, you got caught." She always blaming editing. This the same story every season. Jasmine ended the live crying, whispering, "They don't know the truth." At the same time, Rasheeda was sitting with Miss Shirlene and Carly Red in her living room, trying to piece it together. "So now they saying Jasmine set up Kendra," Carly said, sipping her drink. Miss Shirlene rolled her eyes. "Child, this like watching a soap opera with better wigs." Rasheeda leaned forward, serious. "But if that video's fake, somebody's controlling the whole thing." Carly raised a brow. "And who got that kind of power?" Miss Shirlene clapped her hands once. "Mona." Everyone went silent. Rasheeda frowned. "No, she wouldn't risk production like that." Miss Shirlene crossed her arms. "Baby, people do anything for ratings." Mona Scott, meanwhile, was in her office on a conference call with network executives. "The numbers are insane," one of them said. "Trending in 5 countries. But we can't have them thinking we leaked it." Mona pinched the bridge of her nose. "Trust me, I didn't. But whoever did just gave us a finale we couldn't buy." As chaos spread, Kirk met with Scrappy and Safari at a lounge, hoping for advice. Scrappy laughed. "Bro, you gotta stop letting women handle your business. Every time you do, Atlanta catch fire." Safari added, "Nah, he gotta own it. You can't sit quiet while your wife and 2 exes battle like gladiators." Kirk sighed. "Man, I tried to keep it clean. Now I'm the bad guy again." Scrappy shook his head. "Nah, you just messy. There's a difference." Later that night, another bomb dropped. A gossip account posted screenshots from another private group chat, this time including Mona Scott, a producer named Reggie, and a mystery contact saved as V. The messages showed them discussing how to stir up fan reaction by leaking clips strategically. It was proof that production had played a role. Fans went wild. "So the whole thing's staged." One person tweeted, "They using these women's lives for views." Others defended Mona, saying she was just doing her job. But for Rasheeda, it felt like another betrayal. She called Mona directly. "Tell me the truth," Rasheeda said quietly. "Did y'all leak that footage?" Mona hesitated. "Rasheeda, you know I wouldn't. Don't lie to me." Rasheeda snapped. There was a long pause before Mona finally said, "It wasn't me. But someone close to the network thought it'd boost engagement." Rasheeda's heart sank. "So this was all business to y'all." "Baby," Mona said softly, "everything on TV is business." Rasheeda hung up without another word. By midnight, Atlanta felt colder. The story had spun out of control. Jasmine was hiding. Kendra was fuming. Kirk was avoiding calls. And Rasheeda was done pretending everything was fine. She sat in her car outside Frost Bistro, tears glistening in the glow of her dashboard lights. "They turned my pain into profit," she whispered. The cameras weren't rolling, but if they were, it would have been the most powerful scene of her career. And while the world argued online about who was right and who was wrong, something new was already brewing. Someone was about to release the full chatha, unedited version that would prove who started the entire plot. And when that dropped, Atlanta wouldn't just be watching. It would be burning. The full chat-ching. It would be burning. The full church. No warning, no build-up. 1 second people were posting brunch photos. The next, they were watching a 20-minute screen recording that changed everything. The video was titled "The Real Truth Behind Rasheeda's Leak" and uploaded anonymously to a gossip forum. Within minutes, it was everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, even TikTok edits were made before breakfast. This version of the chat wasn't edited, and that was the worst part. The messages were longer, messier, and full of names that had never been mentioned before. It wasn't just Jasmine and Kendra talking. Kirk's name was in there too. And someone saved as V kept dropping instructions like a puppet master pulling strings. The first half of the chat showed Jasmine venting about how the show made her look like a homewrecker again. "They never show my side," she wrote. "It's like I'm the villain every season." Kendra replied, "Girl, same. They made me look dumb last reunion." Then V entered the conversation, writing, "There's a way to flip the narrative. I can help you too if you're willing to play it right." Jasmine replied, "What you mean?" And V said, "Set her up with her own truth. She leak it herself." Nobody realized what that meant until the chat went on. V started sending voice notes, giving them detailed instructions how to bait Rasheeda into reacting, how to make it look like a private plot, and how to record Kirk secretly. That's when fans noticed something chilling. The voice in those notes wasn't random, it sounded like a producer. Within hours, people were running audio comparisons online, matching V's voice to one of the assistant producers from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, a woman named Valerie who'd worked on set for years. Screenshots showed her following Jasmine and Kendra on Instagram, commenting under their posts, laughing at shady memes. It all clicked. Valerie had been manipulating them behind the scenes, feeding both sides stories and encouraging chaos for content. Fans were furious. So they using black women's pain for ratings? One tweet read, "This ain't entertainment anymore. This exploitation." Rasheeda saw it too. She sat in her living room with her laptop open, watching the leak in silence. Her face was unreadable. Kirk hovered near the doorway, scared to speak. Finally, she looked up at him. "So that's who you were texting," she said quietly. Kirk frowned. "What you mean?" She turned the screen toward him, showing his messages to Valerie. "Don't play dumb. You knew she was stirring it up." Kirk rubbed his temples. "I didn't know she was recording. I thought she was trying to fix stuff for the show." Rasheeda's voice broke. "You keep saying that. Everything you do is for the show. When does our real life matter?" Miss Shirlene burst through the door right then, waving her phone. "Baby, I told you that woman was messy. She'd been running her mouth since season 1. Rasheeda sighed. "Mama, please. I can't even process this." Miss Shirlene hugged her tight. "Then stop letting these people use your pain for a storyline. Take your power back." Rasheeda's eyes filled with tears, but she nodded. "I will." Later that evening, cameras rolled again at Frost Bistro. Production had no choice but to address the leak publicly. Mona Scott herself flew in, sitting across from Rasheeda, Kirk, Jasmine, and Kendra. The air was heavy, everyone guarded. Mona spoke first. Calm but stern. "We all seen the leaks. It's embarrassing for everyone, including me, but we're here to set the record straight." Jasmine looked nervous, fidgeting with her bracelet. "So what now?" she asked. Mona leaned forward. "Now we find out who V really is." One of the producers brought out a tablet and played a clip. It was Valerie, sitting in her car, unknowingly recorded by a crew member days earlier. She was laughing, saying, "These girls fall for it every time. You just tell them what they want to hear, and boom, instant drama." Everyone went silent. Kendra covered her mouth. Jasmine whispered, "She used us." Rasheeda just sat there, cold.com/unreadable. "Finally," she said, "so that's it? She plays God with our lives and walks away." Mona shook her head. "No. She's fired. Effective immediately. We already sent her notice." But that didn't fix the damage. The reunion episode filming was scheduled 2 days later, and everyone knew it would be the most watched in franchise history. The stage was set in downtown Atlanta, with giant screens showing clips of the leaked chats and behind-the-scenes footage. Fans filled the live audience, screaming, booing, chanting names. Jasmine and Kendra were seated on one side, Rasheeda and Kirk on the other. Mona stood in the middle, microphone in hand. "Tonight," she said, "we're addressing the scandal that shook the entire city." The first hour was chaos. Accusations flew like knives. Jasmine cried, saying she never meant to hurt anyone. Kendra defended herself, saying she thought the messages were harmless. Kirk tried to explain his involvement, but every time he spoke, the audience booed. Rasheeda sat still, letting everyone unravel. Then, when the noise hit its peak, she stood up slowly, microphone in hand. "Y'all wanna know what hurts the most?" she said, her voice shaking. "It's not the lies. It's the fact that I let people into my circle who never wanted to see me win. Every time I forgave, they found a new way to play me. But I'm done." The crowd cheered. Even Jasmine looked emotional. But before Rasheeda could sit down, one of the crew members rushed onto the stage, whispering something to Mona. She froze, then looked at the audience. "We just got word there's another leak right now, live." The big screen behind them flickered, showing a new message thread. This one was between Valerie and someone saved as K. The messages were timestamped from 3 weeks ago. Valerie had written, "We need to trigger her before the reunion. Get her emotional." And Kay replied, "Done." She leaked it herself. The audience gasped. Mona turned toward Kirk. "You got something to say?" Kirk's face drained of color. "Nah, that ain't me." But everyone knew it was. Rasheeda dropped her microphone. "You worked with her," she shouted. Kirk stammered, "Baby, listen," but she didn't. She stormed off stage, cameras chasing her through the hallway, past security, past producers begging her to stop. "No more," she said through tears. "I'm not living like this for TV." I'm done. The live feed cut to black. Within an hour, the internet erupted again. Hashtags like hashtag RASHEEDA done and hashtag cancel Kirk trended nationwide. Fans flooded her page with support. Protect your peace. Queen, we ride for you, Rasheeda. Others dragged Kirk relentlessly, calling him the architect of his own downfall. And while the world argued, Rasheeda was home in silence, sitting in her bedroom surrounded by the echoes of everything she'd built and everything she'd lost. Then, around midnight, her phone buzzed with a new message from an unknown number. It read, "You think it's over, but Atlanta's still watching. The truth ain't all out yet." She stared at it for a long time, heart pounding, because after everything, after all the leaks and betrayals, someone out there still had more to show. And whatever came next, she knew it would change everything again. As the night deepened, the whispers in Atlanta turned into wildfire. Everyone wanted to know what really happened between Jasmine and Kendra, and why Rasheeda chose that exact moment to leak the chat. The streets were buzzing. Jasmine tried to hold her composure online, posting calm quotes like "real women don't compete, they elevate." But the fans weren't buying it. One wrote, "Girl, you got caught plotting, and now you trying to sound spiritual." It only made things worse. Kirk was furious. He told Rasheeda she went too far, that airing private messages online could destroy everything they had built. But Rasheeda shot back, her voice trembling. "They were about to ruin me, Kirk. They wanted to end us. How can you defend them?" That line hit Kirk like a brick. He didn't have an answer. Later that week, Jasmine was spotted at a rooftop bar with Kendra. Both looked tense. According to an insider, Jasmine slammed her phone down and said, "Rasheeda really thinks she can win sympathy. I got receipts too." Kendra responded, "We didn't even do anything wrong. We were just venting." Jasmine smirked. "Girl, venting about how to make her cry on her anniversary. Yeah, okay." The insider claimed the conversation turned icy. It seemed even Jasmine and Kendra weren't on the same page anymore. Their alliance, built on resentment, was beginning to crack. Meanwhile, Mona Scott-Young was reportedly thrilled. The drama was trending. Hashtags everywhere. Hashtag RASHEEDA leaked it. Hashtag Kendra and Jasmine exposed. She allegedly called the cast in for an emergency meeting, hinting at a reunion shoot sooner than planned. "This storyline is gold," she told producers. "Fans are eating it up." And she was right. Every gossip outlet, every podcast, every YouTube channel had their own take. Some said Rasheeda had every right to defend her marriage. Others called her out for being messy and public. One fan tweeted, "If she really happy, she wouldn't be posting receipts. Happy women don't prove, they move." Back at home, Kirk tried to make peace. He brought flowers, cooked dinner, and sat with Rasheeda quietly. "You're my wife," he said, "and I love you. But I can't keep doing this public circus." Rasheeda looked at him, tears in her eyes. "Then tell your women to stay out of our life." The air was thick. For once, Kirk didn't have a defense. He just nodded. That night, Rasheeda sat alone scrolling through her DMs, reading messages from fans, some supportive, some cruel. One said, "We saw this coming years ago." Fans, some supportive, some cruel. One said, "We saw this coming years ago." Another wrote, "You're too classy for this." The next morning, Jasmine dropped a bomb. She went live. Hair perfect, lashes sharp, tone calm but icy. So since everybody wants to talk about chats, she began, "Let's talk about who really been and who's deep." The comments exploded. She scrolled her phone and flashed a blurred screenshot. The caption above it read, "This was Kirk at 2 a.m. Viewers gasped. Some said it looked fake. Others swore it was real. Jasmine leaned in and whispered, "And before anyone says Photoshop, no baby. This was from his verified account." The internet went crazy. Rasheeda's supporters flooded the chat with "liar," while Jasmine fans screamed "receipts, don't lie." As the live went viral, Kendra panicked. She hadn't agreed to this. She called Jasmine, shouting, "Are you insane? You just dragged us into something we can't clean up." Jasmine snapped back, "You started it. You said we were gonna hit her where it hurts." Kendra went silent. The silence said everything. Somewhere deep down, she knew Jasmine wasn't wrong. That plan, born out of jealousy and frustration, had turned into something monstrous. And now it was slipping out of control. By evening, Mona's team sent out emails an emergency filming schedule for the next day. They wanted reactions, confessions, everything. Cameras would roll. Rasheeda didn't want to go. She told Kirk, "I'm tired of being humiliated on TV." Kirk replied, "Then don't let them control your story. Control it yourself." That line stayed with her. Maybe he was right. When she arrived on set, the room was tense. Jasmine and Kendra sat across from her, avoiding eye contact. The producers whispered, "Roll cameras." Rasheeda started, calm but shaking. "You both smiled in my face, came to my home, hugged my kids, and then plotted against me. Why?" Jasmine crossed her legs, cold. "We didn't plot. We talked," Kendra added. "We were venting." "That's it." Rasheeda leaned forward, voice low but sharp. "Then why did you say you wanted to make me cry on my anniversary?" Silence. Even the crew froze. Jasmine's eyes flickered, her confidence cracking. She muttered, "You weren't supposed to see that." Rasheeda's expression hardened. "But I did. And now the world did too." The next moment exploded. Jasmine stood up, shouting, "You think you're the only one who's been hurt? You act perfect, but you're not. Kirk didn't just cheat, he lied to both of us." Rasheeda snapped, "And you were dumb enough to fall for him again." Producers stepped in. Voices overlapped. Chairs scraped. It was chaos. Kendra started crying, screaming, "This wasn't supposed to go this far." Jasmine stormed off set, slamming the door so hard the sound echoed through the studio. After filming, Rasheeda sat in her car, hands trembling. Kirk called, asking if she was okay. "No," she said softly, "but I'm done being quiet." She knew the internet would tear her apart again, dissect every word, every tear. But she didn't care anymore. This time, she wasn't trying to look perfect. She was trying to survive. As the episode teaser dropped online, fans lost their minds. The preview ended with Jasmine's voice yelling, "You act perfect, but you're not." And Rasheeda whispering, "I'm done being quiet." Millions of views in hours. Comments flooded in. "This season is insane." Rasheeda finally snapped. "Jasmine needs help." Kendra messy, for real. Atlanta hadn't seen drama like this in years. And the wildest part, everyone knew this was just the beginning. 2 days later, Atlanta was still reeling from the chaos. Gossip pages ran nonstop headlines, bloggers couldn't keep up, and fans dissected every expression from that leaked footage. Rasheeda's eyes told a story. One viewer wrote, "You can see she's holding years of pain." The reunion fallout had shifted the city's energy. Every club, salon, and radio show had one topic: the chat. Jasmine had gone silent after her explosive exit, but rumors swirled she was working on something. Some said a TELOL interview. Others whispered she had a secret voice note that could end Kirk's reputation for good. Kendra, meanwhile, deactivated her page, posting a short message before vanishing. Sometimes walking away is the only piece left, but the damage was already done. Rasheeda tried to regain her footing, focusing on her boutique and her music. Yet the whispers followed her everywhere. When she stepped into Frost Bistro, even her staff exchanged nervous glances. "Y'all can stop pretending," she said one afternoon, setting her purse down. "I know what they say about me. That I should have left him years ago. That I'm too old for this drama. But let me tell y'all something, I built everything I have with my own hands. Nobody's taking that from me." Her voice was steady, but the exhaustion showed. One of her assistants later told a friend, "She's hurt, but she's strong. She not folding." Across town, Jasmine met with a podcast host known for stirring trouble. The host leaned in, eyes wide. "So Jasmine, are the rumors true? Did Kendra really say she wanted to break up Rasheeda's marriage?" Jasmine smiled thinly. "People love to twist things. But I will say this, when someone keeps pretending their life perfect, sometimes you want them to feel what you felt." That clip alone went viral within an hour. Fans were divided again. Some called Jasmine heartless, others said she was finally speaking her truth. One comment summed it up: "They all wrong, but Jasmine playing chess, not checkers." Meanwhile, Kirk stayed quiet publicly, but behind the scenes, he was furious. He told a close friend, "They trying to make me the villain again. I made mistakes, but I've been fixing things. Now they want to drag me back." The friend advised him to ignore it, but Kirk couldn't. Late that night, he called Jasmine. She didn't pick up. He texted instead, "Stop bringing my name up before you regret it." Jasmine screenshot the message instantly. Within minutes, it was on the blogs. The caption read, "Kirk threatening Jasmine after she speaks out." The backlash was instant. Fans flooded his comments with "Same old Kirk. Man never learns. He needs to stop embarrassing Rasheeda." By the next morning, Rasheeda saw the post before Kirk even woke up. She stood at the kitchen counter, staring at the phone. When he walked in, she didn't speak. He noticed the tension, sighed, and said, "You saw it, huh?" She nodded slowly. Why do you keep giving them reasons to drag us? Kirk rubbed his forehead. I didn't mean it like that. She twisting everything. Rasheeda's tone cracked. But she can't twist silence. Kirk, if you'd stayed quiet, we wouldn't be here again. The argument lingered heavy in the room. No shouting, just hurt. Later that day, Mona's office released a teaser for the next episode. The clip showed Rasheeda walking into a dimly lit room, Jasmine sitting across with folded arms. A voiceover teased the conversation everyone's been waiting for. The internet erupted. Within hours, the trailer hit 1 million views. Everyone wanted to know, would Rasheeda finally forgive, or would she explode again? On set, tension filled the air. Jasmine sat stiff, her stylist whispering last-minute touches. Rasheeda walked in wearing all black. Calm but unreadable. The cameras rolled. Jasmine started, I know you hate me right now. Rasheeda interrupted softly, hate isn't the word. Disappointed fits better. Jasmine's jaw clenched. You leaked private messages, Rasheeda. Rasheeda replied, and you plan to destroy a marriage. The room went silent. Kendra, sitting off camera, whispered to a producer, this isn't going well. As they kept filming, truth spilled faster than anyone expected. Jasmine revealed she and Kendra had been approached by a third person, someone who promised to expose Kirk in exchange for money. We didn't plan to ruin her, Jasmine said. We were scared someone else would. So we talked about flipping it before it flipped on us. Rasheeda blinked, confused. Who? Jasmine hesitated. Someone close to you. Someone you trust. Producers exchanged glances, the tension electrifying the room. Say the name, Rasheeda demanded. Jasmine took a deep breath and whispered. It was Tori. The name hit like a grenade. Tori had been Rasheeda's longtime assistant, practically family. She gasped, whispering, you lying. Jasmine shook her head. Check your phone records. Check your texts. She's the one who told us when you were out of town. Cameras zoomed in on Rasheeda's face, shock, disbelief, and then cold rage. If you lying about this, she said, voice trembling, you'll regret it. Jasmine stayed silent, staring at the floor. By evening, social media was in flames. Hashtag Tori trending topped Twitter. Everyone wanted answers. Was Rasheeda's assistant really the mole? Some fans didn't believe Jasmine, calling it a desperate deflection. Others said it made perfect sense. How else would private details keep leaking? Bloggers scrambled to find Tori, but she disappeared, deleting her accounts within hours. Rasheeda's boutique page turned off comments. Her brand manager posted a note saying, no further statements will be made at this time. Still, the speculation wouldn't stop. One YouTube blogger claimed to have audio of Tori talking to Jasmine and Kendra, laughing about a master plan. The video gained hundreds of thousands of views overnight, though no one could confirm if the voice was really hers. Rasheeda watched it from her bedroom, numb. Kirk stood nearby, trying to console her. Maybe it's fake, he said softly. She didn't respond. Her silence said more than words could. The next morning, Tori showed up at the Frost Bistro unannounced. Rasheeda was sitting in her office when the door opened. Tori stood there, teary-eyed. It's not true, she whispered. Rasheeda glared. Then why you disappear? Tori's voice shook. Because everyone started threatening me. I didn't leak nothing. I swear. Rasheeda looked unconvinced. She handed Tori her phone, then explained these. Messages appeared on screen, timestamps matching Jasmine's claims. Tori gasped. That's not me. They faked this. The moment was tense. Kirk walked in, looking between them. Enough, he said. This mess is destroying everybody. But Rasheeda couldn't let it go. No, Kirk. Somebody played me, and I'm gonna find out who. She turned back to Tori. Until I know the truth, you're done here. Tori broke down crying, pleading, please don't do this. Rasheeda turned away, whispering, I already did. As Tori left, the door clicked shut, a small sound that felt like an ending. Outside, the paparazzi were already waiting. Cameras flashed as Tori walked out crying, and by evening, the footage was everywhere. Rasheeda fires longtime friend amid betrayal scandal. Fans debated Some said Rasheeda overreacted. Others said loyalty mattered more than feelings. Either way, Atlanta hadn't seen this kind of storm in years. And still, deep down, everyone knew the real storm hadn't even started yet. That night, the city didn't sleep. Atlanta was buzzing like a live wire. The fallout from Tori's firing had lit the streets on fire. Fans were outside Frost Bistro taking photos. bloggers were camped in cars, and every gossip page was running polls titled "Who Betrayed Who?" Even Kirk's phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Rasheeda sat alone in her living room, lights dimmed, scrolling through her mentions. Some called her a boss for cutting ties. Others accused her of being. One tweet caught her eye. Funny how everyone around Rasheeda turns into the villain sooner or later. It stung, because somewhere in her chest, she knew that was half true. Meanwhile, Jasmine was on FaceTime with Kendra. Both looked exhausted. Jasmine said, "She really fired Tori? She believed me." Kendra sighed, "This is getting out of hand, Jasmine. We didn't mean to ruin her life." Jasmine's voice hardened. "She tried to ruin mine first." Kendra leaned closer to the camera, whispering, "But what if she finds out about the messages from last week?" Jasmine froze. "What messages?" Kendra hesitated, realizing she had said too much. "You weren't supposed to see those." Jasmine's eyes narrowed. "Kendra, what did you do?" Kendra stammered. "It wasn't like that. I was scared." Jasmine hung up mid-sentence. Her phone hit the couch, her hands shaking. An hour later, Jasmine posted a cryptic story. "Never trust a snake disguised as a sister." Fans immediately went wild. Theories exploded online. Some said she was talking about Rasheeda again. Others guessed it was about Kendra. Within minutes, Kendra posted her own story, a black screen with the words, "Truth always finds its way out." The internet caught fire. Bloggers declared a new feud had begun. Behind the scenes, Mona's team was already moving. One of her producers called Jasmine early the next morning. "Can you meet us at the studio? We're adding a sit-down scene." Jasmine agreed, still furious. When she arrived, cameras were ready. She sat down, eyes cold, and said straight to the lens, "Kendra's been lying. She told me she had my back, but she's been feeding info to Kirk behind my back." The producer's jaw dropped. "Are you sure?" Jasmine nodded. "I saw the texts. She told him everything about our plan before it even leaked." The next few hours blurred into chaos. Kendra was called in immediately. She denied everything, her voice trembling. "I didn't tell Kirk anything. I just told him Jasmine was spiraling." Jasmine snapped. "You told him about the screenshots, about the voice notes, about everything." The two women argued so loud the producers had to cut filming. One mic picked up Jasmine, yelling, "You played both sides like a pro. Congrats, you the new villain." Kendra screamed back, "You leaked everything first." The fight was raw, ugly, and perfect for TV. Mona reportedly smiled from behind the monitor and whispered, "This season just saved itself." By nightfall, leaked clips from the set began circulating online. The argument trended instantly. Fans couldn't get enough. Jasmine versus Kendra, finna break the internet. One post read, "Rasheeda started a war she can't control," said another. Kirk watched it all quietly from his office, muttering to himself, "This getting out of hand." Rasheeda, though, was still processing Tori's betrayal. She couldn't shake Jasmine's words. "Someone close to you." She spent the entire evening going through her old messages, screenshots, and call logs, piecing together every inconsistency. And then she found an old group chat from months earlier. One that included Tori, Kendra, and Jasmine. The name of the chat, ATL Nights. She opened it and froze. Dozens of messages she'd never seen before scrolled up the screen. In one, Tori had sent, "She'd never see this coming, lol." In another, Jasmine replied, "Let's hit her where it hurts." Her breath caught. Her hands trembled. It wasn't just betrayal, it was orchestration. These weren't random leaks. It was planned from the beginning. Rasheeda called Kirk into the room. "Look at this," she said quietly. He frowned at the phone, scrolling slowly. "What the hell?" he whispered. "So Tori lied. She was in on it." Rasheeda's voice broke. "I trusted her. Kirk, she watched our kids." Tears welled up, but anger took over. "I want them all out of my life." Kirk tried to calm her down. "Let's handle this smart." She cut him off. "No, Kirk. I've been quiet for too long. I'm done being smart." The next morning, Rasheeda posted on her page. It was just one sentence. "Betrayal hits hardest when it wears a smile." No names, no context, but everyone knew who it was about. The post racked up hundreds of thousands of likes in hours. Jasmine clapped back with her own post. "You can't play victim when you started the game." The war had gone public again. Later that evening, Mona arranged an emergency dinner scene with all three women, Rasheeda, Jasmine, and Kendra, at an upscale restaurant downtown. Cameras surrounded them. Tension so thick you could feel it through the screen. Jasmine sat with her arms crossed. Kendra kept looking down, and Rasheeda stared straight ahead. The waiter poured water. Nobody spoke for a full minute. Finally, Rasheeda broke the silence. "I saw the messages," she said. Jasmine looked up, her face unreadable. "What messages?" Rasheeda's tone was sharp, the ones from the group chat. The ones where y'all laughed about ruining my anniversary. Jasmine went pale. Kendra whispered, "Oh my god." Rasheeda turned to her, "And you told me you were sorry, but you were part of it too." Jasmine snapped, "We didn't mean to actually ruin anything. It was just jokes." Rasheeda leaned closer, her eyes fierce. "Jokes don't end marriages." Kendra began crying softly. "We just wanted to hurt you back," she said. Rasheeda's voice softened slightly. "Hurt me back, for what?" Kendra hesitated, then whispered, "For acting perfect when you weren't." That line changed everything. The air shifted, Rasheeda froze, trying to process the words. "What do you mean? When I wasn't?" Jasmine's lips pressed together, eyes flickering to the cameras. "Ask Kirk." The table went silent. Kirk's name hung in the air, like a curse. Rasheeda's face drained of color. She whispered, "What did he do?" Jasmine smirked slightly. "Guess he didn't tell you everything." And just like that, another layer of the scandal was born. The cameras caught every reaction, every tremble, every tear. Mona looked at her monitor and said softly, "This is history." Because now, the story wasn't just about leaked chats. It was about secrets, lies, and what happens when love and loyalty finally break. And the viewers, they couldn't look away. The next morning, Atlanta woke up to chaos. Every entertainment outlet, from the Shade Room to TMZ, was plastered with one question. What did Kirk do this time? Bloggers analyzed Jasmine's smirk frame by frame, lip-reading every word she might have whispered, off camera. Fans flooded Rasheeda's comments with "Girl, blink twice if he did it again and we tried to warn you." The internet was a battlefield. Kirk stayed off social media, but sources said he was fuming. One insider claimed he threw his phone at a wall after seeing a headline that read, "Jasmine claims Kirk's new secret could end everything." Rasheeda sat on her porch that morning, sunglasses hiding puffy eyes. She hadn't slept. Her mind replayed Jasmine's last words, "Ask Kirk." She called him downstairs. "Sit," she said quietly. He hesitated, knowing that tone. What did she mean? "Kirk, what didn't you tell me?" Kirk ran a hand over his face. "Rash, don't start believing Jasmine again. She's using this to stay relevant." Rasheeda slammed her coffee mug down. "Then tell me she's lying." He hesitated for a fraction of a second, long enough for her to see the truth. "Oh my god," she whispered, stepping back. "What did you do?" Kirk finally spoke, voice low. "It's not what you think. This was before we got things right. I didn't sleep with her again, but I did message her." Rasheeda's chest tightened. "You messaged her? After everything?" Kirk's voice cracked. "I just wanted closure." Rasheeda laughed bitterly. "Closure? You had closure when you married me again." The argument spiraled fast. Kirk tried to explain that Jasmine had reached out, that he only responded out of guilt, but to Rasheeda, it didn't matter. The betrayal, even emotional, was enough to reopen every old wound. Word spread quickly that Kirk and Rasheeda had unfollowed each other on Instagram. Bloggers zoomed in on deleted posts and cryptic captions. One tweet read, "Here we go again, Atlanta's favorite cycle," and cryptic captions. One tweet read, "Here we go again, Atlanta's favorite cycle." Mona's team saw the opportunity and immediately scheduled another filming day. They wanted Kirk's side on record. The set was dimly lit, just Kirk in a chair under a spotlight. The producer asked, "What really happened between you and Jasmine after the leak?" Kirk exhaled slowly. "Nothing happened. I texted her once to say stop using my name. That's it." The producer pressed, "So why did Jasmine say otherwise?" Kirk's eyes narrowed, "Because drama pays her bills." The clip was short but explosive. Fans debated whether he looked guilty. "That blink too long." One viewer wrote, "Men lie with their eyes." Meanwhile, Jasmine doubled down. She went live again, sipping wine. "If Kirk wanna act innocent, cool. But there's more where that came from." The chat exploded. She held up her phone, scrolling through blurred screenshots. "He said he missed how easy it was to talk to me. Tell me that's not emotional cheating." Fans gasped. Some demanded proof. Others called her messy. "Girl, you really proud of being the side piece again." One comment said. Jasmine smirked. "Side piece, or main dish? At least I was on the plate." Rasheeda saw the live in real time. Her best friend Toya came over minutes later, knocking hard on the door. "Girl, turn that off. It's gonna kill you." Rasheeda shook her head. "No, I need to see what she's saying." Toya sat beside her. "You already know Kirk's stupid. Don't let her win twice." Rasheeda's voice was faint. "It's not about her winning. It's about me losing myself again." Later that evening, Kirk tried to apologize, but Rasheeda wasn't ready. "Every time I start to heal, something drags me back," she said, pacing the room. Kirk reached for her hand. "I'm trying. Rash." She pulled away. "Trying isn't enough. She left the house and drove aimlessly until she ended up at her mother's place. Mama Shirlene opened the door, instantly sensing the storm. What he'd do now? Rasheeda broke down crying, mumbling. He never stopped talking to her. Mama Shirlene sighed, wrapping her arms around her daughter. Baby, you can't keep rebuilding the same house every time it burns. Back at Jasmine's apartment, things weren't smooth either. Her phone kept ringing, unknown numbers, blocked calls, angry messages. Kendra finally showed up unannounced. We need to talk, she said, standing in the doorway. Jasmine rolled her eyes. About what? You already told Kirk everything. Kendra's voice cracked. I didn't tell him about the screenshots. Jasmine laughed coldly. Oh, so there's more. Kendra swallowed hard. You think Jasmine and Kirk is the problem? Girl, it's bigger than that. Mona's been feeding stories to the blogs to keep ratings up. That revelation stopped Jasmine cold. You saying Mona's behind all this leaking? Kendra nodded. She told us to send her stuff if we wanted more screen time. She promised it wouldn't go public. Jasmine sat back, realization dawning. So she used us all. Meanwhile, Mona's office was buzzing with celebration. Ratings had doubled. The upcoming episode teaser already had millions of views, but one of her assistants overheard her mutter, "If they find out, I'll deny everything." As tension grew, Rasheeda got a call from an unknown number. She answered hesitantly. A voice said, "You don't know me, but I used to work for Mona's team." The leaks didn't come from Jasmine or Tori. They came from inside production. Rasheeda froze. Why are you telling me this? The voice replied, because you deserve to know who really betrayed you. The call ended before she could ask anything else. That night, Rasheeda met Kirk at the studio again. I got a call, she said. Someone said Mona's people leaked everything. Kirk frowned. Why would they? She replied, for ratings. For money? We've been puppets. Kirk. He rubbed his temples. So what you wanna do? She looked him dead in the eyes. I'm gonna expose them. Kirk hesitated. That could end your contract. Rasheeda smirked slightly. Then let it. By dawn, Atlanta woke to a new headline. Rasheeda to hold press conference about Love Done hip-hop scandal. Fans lost their minds. Some called it a publicity stunt. Others said she was finally fighting back. But one thing was clear. The game had changed. The players weren't just Jasmine, Kendra, and Kirk anymore. The empire behind the scenes was about to crumble. And when Rasheeda walked onto that stage, mic in hand, everyone knew the next words out of her mouth would shake Atlanta to its core. Rasheeda sat in her car, silence pressing against her chest as the city lights blurred past her windshield. She hadn't said a word to Kirk since that morning, and the house felt heavier than it ever had. Kendra's text still glowed on her phone screen. We need to talk before this goes public. Public. Rasheeda whispered the word under her breath, wondering what more could possibly be left to destroy. The internet was already flooded with screenshots, theories, and edits of Jasmine and Kendra laughing at a private dinner. Fans were calling it the betrayal of the year. But what none of them knew was that a second set of messages had leaked, ones no one was supposed to see. Those messages revealed a different side of the story, and it painted a picture that shocked even the most loyal supporters. Kirk's name was all over the chats. Jasmine had written, "Once she sees what Kirk's been saying, she'll lose it." Kendra replied, "That's the point. She needs to feel what we felt." No one could understand what the women were plotting until the next voice note dropped. The one that stopped Atlanta cold. Kirk's voice, recorded during what sounded like a private argument, saying things he could never take back. Maybe if Rasheeda stopped acting like she perfect, we wouldn't be here. Rasheeda replayed that clip 10 times, each time feeling another piece of her pride crumble. She had defended Kirk through everything, every scandal, every rumor, and now, hearing him side with the very women who wanted to break her, it was too much. When she stepped out of the car, cameras were already waiting. Someone had tipped off the blogs that she was heading to the radio station for a surprise interview. Her team begged her to cancel, but Rasheeda walked in anyway. If the world wanted a show, she was about to give them one. Inside, the lights were blinding, and the host could barely keep her composure. "So Rasheeda," she started, "you've seen the screenshots. You've heard the clips. Are they real?" Rasheeda leaned forward, her voice low and steady. "They're real enough," she said, "but let me make something clear. If you think Jasmine and Kendra are winning, you don't know me." The studio fell silent. Her phone started buzzing again, and for a moment, she looked like she might cry. But instead, she smiled. "See, when you spend your life being loyal, you forget some people only show up to take notes on your pain." Outside, Jasmine was watching the interview on live TV, pacing her living room. Kendra sat beside her, pretending to scroll, but she was sweating. "She's flipping the story," Jasmine said through clenched teeth. She always does. But Kendra didn't answer. Something in her expression shifted. She looked at Jasmine and whispered, "Did you really send her the whole chat? The one with Kirk's call?" Jasmine froze. "What are you talking about?" Kendra's voice rose. "You said you were gonna blur that part. Why is the whole thing online?" Jasmine's silence was answer enough. That night, the group chat exploded. Kirk messaged both of them. "Y'all went too far. You don't understand what you just started." Jasmine fired back. "Don't act innocent now. You were part of this." Kirk's only reply was, "Meet me tomorrow." No cameras. By morning, fans were posting photos of Kirk at a diner on the south side, sitting across from Jasmine. The internet was ruthless. #KirkExposed was trending. Some fans defended him. Others demanded Rasheeda leave for good. But the real chaos began when a new voice memo appeared on social media, one that didn't come from Jasmine, Kendra, or Kirk. It was from a mystery account, a deep, disguised voice saying, "You think you know what happened, but you've only seen what they want you to see." Within hours, people were speculating that the leak came from someone inside Rasheeda's own circle, her assistant, maybe even a family member. Kirk confronted her that evening. "You really think I'd leak my own dirt?" he snapped. Rasheeda didn't flinch. "I think you don't know who your friends are anymore," she replied. He threw up his hands, pacing the room. "This is crazy. Jasmine's playing everyone. Even Kendra." Rasheeda turned to him. "Then why were you with her yesterday?" He opened his mouth to speak, but stopped when he saw her phone on the counter. Camera light blinking. Rasheeda was recording the whole thing. "Say it," she said quietly. "Say what really happened." Kirk hesitated, his face tightening. "I went to tell her to stop. I didn't know she was recording. I didn't know she was gonna post it." Rasheeda stepped closer. "You've said that before." She stopped the recording and walked away, leaving Kirk standing there, hands shaking. Outside, the noise from the fans and the cameras echoed down the street. It was no longer just a scandal, it was a storm, and everyone was caught in it. As the night dragged on, Jasmine's confidence started to crack. Kendra hadn't answered her calls, and producers were threatening to pull her from the upcoming reunion episode. Her plan to ruin Rasheeda's image had spiraled out of control. Even the blogs that once supported her were turning. Screenshots surfaced showing Jasmine and Kendra laughing about fake receipts, joking that fans would believe anything. The laughter in those texts became their downfall. By sunrise, both women were trending again, but this time, not as victims. By sunrise, both women were trending again, but this time, not as victims. They were being called the ATL liars. Rasheeda's team moved quickly. They released a carefully edited clip of her in tears, saying, "It's one thing to attack my name, but don't touch my marriage." It was raw, emotional, and exactly what the audience needed to see. Fans flooded her page with hearts and words of support. Kirk stayed silent, his Instagram deactivated, but behind the scenes, he was spiraling. He called Mona, begging to keep the cameras out of their home. "We got kids," he said. "This can't be how they remember us." Mona didn't promise anything. She just said, "The cameras follow the truth." Kirk, "And right now, the truth's chasing you." By the end of the week, nothing was the same. Jasmine lost her brand deal, Kendra stopped showing up to events, and Rasheeda, she stood taller than ever. But as she scrolled through her DMs one night, a message appeared from an unknown number. It read, "You think it's over, but you ain't seen the real leak yet." Her heart skipped. She stared at the message, the glow of her phone reflecting in her eyes. Outside, thunder rolled through the night sky. The storm wasn't done, not yet. Rasheeda barely slept that night. The message haunted her, every word replaying like a whisper she couldn't shut off. By morning, her phone was filled with notifications again. But this time it wasn't about Jasmine or Kendra. A new account had surfaced online, calling itself Truth from Within, and it was dropping unseen footage from behind-the-scenes clips that never made it to air. One showed Kirk in a studio talking to Jasmine weeks before the scandal. Another showed Kendra crying backstage, saying she felt US. Fans were losing their minds. Everyone wanted to know who was behind the account. In the kitchen, Kirk was sitting at the counter, head down. "You seen it?" Rasheeda asked, her voice flat. He nodded without looking up. "Yeah, and whoever that is, they got access to production files." She crossed her arms. "So it's someone from your side." Kirk sighed. "Maybe yours." That hit her harder than she expected. For a second, she didn't speak. "You really think I'd do that?" He looked up finally, eyes tired. "I don't know what to think anymore. This whole thing, everybody lying." Rasheeda walked over and set her phone on the counter between them. "Then let's find out who's not." She called her publicist, then Mona. Within an hour, they were all gathered at a downtown office with the production team. Mona looked furious. "This leak is killing our show." she said, pacing. Someone's breaking contracts. And I'll sue every last one of you if I have to. One of the editors spoke up nervously. The uploads matched timestamps from last month. Only 4 people had access. Mona raised an eyebrow. Who? The editor listed them: Kirk, Jasmine, Kendra, and a new intern named Tia. The room went still. Rasheeda glanced at Kirk, her stomach twisting. Who's Tia? Turns out, Tia had been shadowing Jasmine for weeks, assigned to handle her footage and press coordination. Mona called her immediately, but the call went straight to voicemail. Find her, Mona ordered. The assistant nodded and rushed out. A few minutes later, a message popped up on Jasmine's Instagram story, one that shocked everyone. It was a selfie of Tia and Jasmine together, captioned, "They thought they could play me." Fans flooded the comments, convinced Tia was the real source behind Truth from Within. Jasmine quickly deleted the post, but it was too late. Screenshots were everywhere. By evening, Tia went live from an unknown location. Her voice trembled at first, then grew steady. "I was told to destroy Rasheeda's image," she said. "They wanted drama. They wanted views." Jasmine and Kendra made a deal to leak private footage, and Kirk knew. The internet exploded. Rasheeda sat in her living room watching it all unfold. Kirk kept denying everything, but his silence online only made him look guiltier. When Tia started playing recordings, actual behind-the-scenes conversations, the truth came crashing down. One clip caught Kirk saying, "As long as the heat stays on Jasmine, Rasheeda won't look too deep." Rasheeda's heart broke all over again. "So that's what it was," she whispered. "You used her to protect yourself." Kirk turned off the TV, rubbing his face. "It's not what it sounds like." She laughed, bitter and tired. "It never is." Their argument grew louder, spilling out into the hallway until one of the kids walked in crying. Rasheeda froze. She looked at her child, then back at Kirk. "This is what you did," she said softly. "You made our house feel like a headline." Kirk reached out, but she stepped back. "Don't touch me." That night, Rasheeda packed a bag. She didn't post anything, didn't make a statement. She just left. Cameras caught her at the airport early the next morning, boarding a flight to Los Angeles. Fans speculated she was meeting with producers for a solo spin-off. "She's done protecting him," one fan tweeted. "This is her comeback era." Jasmine, meanwhile, was in hiding. Her brand deals had dropped her, and producers refused to film until she addressed the live stream. Kendra hadn't spoken publicly, but insiders claimed she was preparing to sue. Atlanta had never seen chaos like this. 2 days later, a teaser dropped on Mona's official channel. Dramatic music, quick cuts of crying faces, slammed doors, and Rasheeda walking away from Kirk. The screen faded to black. And then, Love and Hip Hop, Redemption coming soon. Fans lost their minds. Everyone wanted to know if this was scripted or real. The truth was, even the cast didn't know anymore. The lines between performance and pain had blurred too much. Rasheeda's phone rang non-stop, but she ignored it until she saw the name Kendra flash across the screen. She hesitated, then answered. "Rasheeda, listen." Kendra's voice was low, almost desperate. "I didn't mean for any of this to go that far." Rasheeda exhaled slowly. "You were part of it." Kendra started crying. "Jasmine set me up. She said you were already planning to leave Kirk, that you wanted to play the victim. I believed her. I'm sorry." For the first time, Rasheeda didn't feel anger. She just felt empty. "Sorry doesn't fix betrayal," she said, "but I hope you find peace with what you did." She hung up and stared out the window. Somewhere across town, Jasmine was doing the same. Both women realizing the same truth, winning the spotlight had cost them everything. Mona called again later that night. "We need a statement," she said, "something about resilience. Moving forward." Rasheeda sighed. "You want me to turn my heartbreak into ratings again?" Mona paused. "That's what they do to all of us." Rasheeda looked at her reflection on the dark TV screen and whispered, "Not this time." She ended the call and opened her camera app. No makeup, no lights, just her voice. "I've been quiet because I needed to breathe," she said softly. "Everybody's talking about who leaked what, who lied to who, but none of that matters now. What matters is learning when to let go." The clip went viral within an hour. Fans flooded the comments with support, calling her the queen of strength and the only real one left. Even celebrities chimed in, posting hearts and messages of love. Jasmine saw the video too, and for the first time, she didn't feel like fighting. She shut off her phone and sat in silence, realizing that her biggest enemy had never been Rasheeda, it was her own need to be seen. Kirk, alone in the empty house, watched the same video and whispered to himself, "I really lost her this time." Outside, the rain started again, washing the city clean, but the memories stayed sharp, heavy, and unforgettable. 3 weeks later, Atlanta started to quiet down. The scandal had lost its fever, replaced by a kind of uneasy calm. Rasheeda had moved into a condo downtown, smaller but peaceful, surrounded by plants and silence. Her mornings were spent in sunlight instead of shouting matches. She'd started therapy, something she had always postponed. "You've carried other people's pain for too long," her therapist told her, and Rasheeda nodded because it was true. Still, even in that peace, the past had a way of finding her. One morning, her assistant came running in with a phone. "You need to see this." It was a live video. Jasmine, sitting in her car, hair messy, eyes red, talking straight to the camera. "I know y'all hate me right now," she began, voice shaking, "but I need to tell the truth before it eats me alive." Rasheeda didn't move, just listened. Jasmine continued, "I was part of it. Me and Kendra planned to mess with her image. We thought it was just a storyline. We didn't know it would ruin real lives." She paused, tears rolling down her face. "Rasheeda, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I was jealous. I thought if I exposed you, people would finally see me." The live exploded online. Fans filled the comments with mixed reactions, some forgiving her, others calling her manipulative. But one thing was clear: Jasmine was breaking. And for the first time, the world saw her as human, not just the villain. Rasheeda turned off the phone. She didn't smile, didn't cry. She just whispered, "It's about time." Across the city, Kirk watched the same video. He hadn't spoken to Jasmine or Rasheeda in weeks. Guilt had turned him into a ghost in his own life. Every time his phone buzzed, he expected another headline, another leak, another mistake coming back to bite him. Later that day, Kirk showed up outside Rasheeda's condo. She didn't invite him in, but she didn't shut the door either. "I saw the video," he said quietly. "Good for her," she replied, arms crossed. "You look tired." He chuckled bitterly. "You don't." She didn't answer. He shifted, searching for words. "I messed up. I thought keeping things quiet would protect us, but it just made it worse." "Rasheeda, I thought keeping things quiet would protect us, but it just made it worse." Rasheeda looked straight at him. "You didn't protect us. You protected yourself." The silence after that was heavy. He nodded slowly. "You're right." A few days later, Mona called again. "The reunion's back on," she said. "Everyone's confirmed: Jasmine, Kendra, Kirk. They want you to—" Rasheeda hesitated. "I'm not sure I got anything left to say." Mona's tone softened. "Then say that. People need to hear it." And so she agreed. The reunion was filmed in a closed studio under tight security, but leaks still managed to find their way online. The tension was thick from the moment the cameras rolled. Jasmine sat across from Rasheeda, trembling slightly. Kendra avoided eye contact. Kirk kept fidgeting. When the host asked Jasmine to explain, she took a deep breath. "I was angry. I wanted revenge for things that didn't even matter anymore. I thought if I exposed her, I'd feel better. But I didn't. I felt worse." Rasheeda didn't interrupt. When it was her turn to speak, she said, "You can't fix what you break by confessing it on TV. But you can decide not to break anything else." The audience clapped, but it wasn't dramatic. It was quiet, almost respectful. Even Kirk looked moved. Then came the twist no one expected. Halfway through filming, Mona handed her phone to the host. "We just got word that new files have leaked." The host's eyes widened as she read aloud. It wasn't about Jasmine this time, it was Kirk's private messages. Hundreds of them, showing that he had been feeding producers fake stories to control the narrative. The room went silent. Rasheeda closed her eyes, almost relieved. "So it was always you," she whispered. Kirk stood up. "I was trying to protect my family," Jasmine shouted, "by lying about all of us." Kirk turned to her, voice breaking. "You wanted fame, Jasmine. Don't act like you didn't know what this was." The argument spiraled. Producers tried to cut the feed, but it was too late. Clips hit the internet within minutes. Fans watched in disbelief as Kirk's reputation crumbled live. By the end of the night, he was trending worldwide. The next morning, he issued a public apology, calling it the biggest mistake of my life. But it was too late. Brands dropped him, and the network suspended him indefinitely. Rasheeda, though, didn't celebrate. She just walked out of the studio, head held high. A week later, Jasmine reached out again, not for drama, but for closure. They met in a quiet cafe, away from cameras. Jasmine looked fragile. "I've been going to therapy," she said softly, "trying to figure out why I did all that." Rasheeda nodded. "Good. We all got healing to do." Jasmine hesitated, then asked, "You ever think we'll be okay?" Rasheeda looked out the window. "Maybe not like before, but maybe one day, we'll stop hurting each other." Jasmine smiled faintly. "That's enough for me." They hugged before leaving, a quiet end to a loud chapter. Months passed. Rasheeda rebuilt her brand with grace, Focusing on empowerment instead of gossip, she released a clothing line called Real Ones Only. Inspired by her journey, interviews poured in, but she spoke carefully, choosing peace over spectacle. Kirk tried to make amends privately, sending messages and flowers, but she didn't respond. Her silence said everything. The show aired its final episode of the season, closing with a montage of her walking down an empty street. Narration playing softly. Sometimes you lose people to find yourself again. Fans cried, others cheered, but everyone agreed Rasheeda had won, not by fighting back, but by standing tall in the wreckage of what others tried to destroy. 6 months later, the chaos had faded into something almost unrecognizable peace. Atlanta's tabloids had moved on to newer scandals. Fresher faces, but every now and then, Rasheeda's name still resurfaced as the woman who survived it all. She didn't chase the noise anymore. Mornings began with quiet coffee on her balcony, afternoons spent at her boutique, evenings with her kids. Her smile had changed, too smaller, softer earned. The world still wanted the old Rasheeda, the one who fought back loud and fast, but she had grown past that. The new one knew that silence could sting louder than shouting ever did. One morning, her assistant brought over a stack of letters that had come through her fan mail address. Among them was a small white envelope with no return name. Inside was a note that read, "Thank you for not exposing me when you could have." Rasheeda frowned, turning the paper over. But there was nothing else, no name, no hint. She tossed it aside at first, but that night, lying in bed, she thought of Kendra, the guilt in her voice during their last call, the way she said she just wanted peace. Maybe it was her, maybe it didn't matter. Either way, it felt like a quiet kind of closure. Kendra, meanwhile, had left Atlanta altogether. Word was she'd moved to Houston, started over, opened a beauty studio. Jasmine was doing interviews again, apologetic, raw, talking about growth and mental health. People were listening this time. She'd learned that redemption doesn't come from exposure, it comes from honesty. Even Kirk had gone quiet, focusing on being a father, not a headline. Once in a while, his name would trend again, but Rasheeda didn't click anymore. She had made peace with the idea that some stories never get rewritten, they just end softly, when you finally stop telling them. Still, fame has a way of circling back. Mona called one afternoon with an offer. Netflix wants a docuseries, she said. Real talk, real healing. No scripts, just truth. Rasheeda almost laughed. Truth? That's a new angle for you. Mona sighed. We've all learned something, haven't we? They want your story, the real one this time. She didn't say yes or no right away. That night, she went through old photos, smiling faces, red carpets, behind-the-scenes laughter, all the moments that felt real until they weren't. She realized she didn't hate the past anymore. It was messy, painful, public, but it made her unbreakable. 2 weeks later, filming began. No studio lights this time, just Rasheeda in her boutique, arranging clothes, talking about lessons learned. People think strength means staying through pain, she said on camera. But sometimes strength is walking away, even when your heart still wants to stay. The internet fell in love with this version of her. Hashtags trended again, but this time with kindness. Hashtag healed era. Hashtag RASHEEDA returns. Fans who once took sides now posted messages of unity. It wasn't the firestorm of gossip anymore. It was the quiet echo of survival. Halfway through the docuseries, producers surprised her with a visitor. Jasmine walked in. No makeup, holding flowers. The room went still. Rasheeda blinked, caught between shock and softness. You really came? Jasmine nodded. I needed to. Cameras rolled as the two women sat across from each other. Years of tension hanging heavy in the air. Jasmine spoke first. I kept thinking if I could go back, I'd do everything different, but I can't. So I just wanted to say thank you for not destroying me when you could have. Rasheeda smiled faintly. You already destroyed yourself. I just watched. Both of them laughed quietly, almost in relief. After filming wrapped, Jasmine hugged her and whispered, I hope you really are happy now. Rasheeda nodded. I am. Finally. When the docuseries premiered, it broke records. Critics called it raw, emotional, and healing. Fans called it closure. Everyone had a favorite moment. But the one that went viral was Rasheeda looking straight into the camera saying, You can't leak what's already been healed. It became a quote that people printed on shirts, posted under selfies, used in captions about moving on. By the following spring, everything had changed again. Rasheeda's boutique had expanded into 2 new locations, and she had started mentoring young women who wanted to enter the industry without losing themselves to it. She called the program Mirror Talk. In one of her interviews, a journalist asked, if you could tell your younger self one thing, what would it be? Rasheeda smiled. Don't fight to prove your worth. Just live it. It wasn't rehearsed. It wasn't it was her truth. One evening, while closing the store, she got a text from Kirk. Just 3 words. Thank you anyway. No explanation, no apology, but somehow, she understood. Forgiveness doesn't always look like reunion. Sometimes, it's just 2 people letting go at the same time without saying it out loud. She put her phone down, locked the door, and stepped outside. The city lights glowed soft and golden. Somewhere out there, Jasmine was probably doing another interview. Kendra may be teaching a class, Kirk may be tucking in their kids. Life kept moving, and for once, she didn't need to chase it. As she drove home, the radio played a song she used to love before the chaos began. She rolled down the window, let the wind hit her face, and smiled, a real one this time. Atlanta had burned with her name for months, but tonight, it was quiet. No headlines, no leaks, no scripts, just peace. And for Rasheeda Frost, that was the greatest twist of all. The air in Cabo felt heavy that night, like the calm before a storm that everyone could sense but no one dared to speak about. Rasheeda's face was unreadable as she stared out toward the dark waves hitting the rocks. Her phone still clutched in her hand like proof of something she didn't want to believe. Kirk stood a few steps behind her, trying to say anything but his words tangled in his throat. Jasmine's name had already been whispered across every phone in the group. And now it was impossible to pretend nothing had happened. Everyone was talking, some in hushed tones, some too loud, letting the tension build like heat off the ocean. The producers hadn't expected this. Letting the tension build like heat off the ocean. The producers hadn't expected this. They thought they were filming a vacation special, not the moment that would split Atlanta in half. Inside the villa, Kendra was pacing, voice trembling, as she spoke to Carly Red. She couldn't decide whether to defend Kirk or stay silent. Carly was sipping her drink, eyes wide, clearly feeding off the chaos. She loved a moment like this, where everyone's secrets spilled and reputations burned under the spotlight. She whispered, "Girl, if Kirk really sent that voice note to Jasmine, Cabo ain't ready for what's about to come." Kendra nodded, but her face said everything. She had heard the voice note, to the tone, the words, the way Kirk said Jasmine's name. There was no mistaking it. It wasn't fake. Outside, Jasmine appeared at the edge of the patio, wearing confidence like armor. Cameras turned instantly. Rasheeda turned too, slow and deliberate, as if steadying herself before war. Jasmine didn't flinch. "You heard it, didn't you?" she said, voice steady but sharp. Kirk stepped forward, but Rasheeda raised her hand, stopping him cold. "Don't," she said. One word, low but full of power. The entire crew froze. Jasmine crossed her arms. "Then you already know he's been talking to me, off and on. Don't act like you didn't know this was coming." The silence stretched until even the sound of the waves faded into nothing. Then Rasheeda laughed, but it wasn't a laugh anyone had heard before. It was dry, cracked, the sound of someone holding back fire. "You think you can embarrass me on camera, Jasmine? After everything you did, after everything I built?" She took a step closer, her voice rising with every word. "You don't even realize how deep this goes." Jasmine smirked, but her hands trembled slightly, betraying the front she was putting up. "Deep," she said. "Baby, the only thing deep is the lie you living in." The words cut through the night like glass. Kirk tried again, muttering something about misunderstandings and fake leaks, but no one was listening. Even the producers, who usually stepped in to calm things down, stayed frozen. They knew this was gold. This was TV history in real time. Carly whispered from inside, "This is about to blow up the whole season." Rasheeda turned away then, phone still in hand, replaying the voice note as if she needed to be sure she wasn't imagining it. The soft murmur of Kirk's voice saying Jasmine's name again filled the air, and the look on Rasheeda's face hardened. She spoke without turning around. "You played with the wrong woman." Jasmine tilted her head, unbothered. "I didn't play, I just replied." That was it. The spark hit the gasoline. Rasheeda dropped her phone and charged, not with wild anger but the kind of calm fury that only builds after years of betrayal. Crew members rushed in, Carly screamed, and Kirk tried to grab Rasheeda's arm, but she pushed past him. Jasmine stumbled back, eyes wide, not expecting Rasheeda to actually close the space between them. "You want to make this public?" Rasheeda shouted. "Fine. Let's make it public. Let's see how you look when people find out what you did last week at the studio." The name she said next made everyone gasp. It was someone no one thought was involved. Someone high-profile from Atlanta's music circle. Jasmine's face drained of color. She hissed, "You don't know what you're talking about." But Rasheeda only smiled. cold and sharp. "Oh, I know. I got receipts too." That was the moment the cameras caught everything. Jasmine lunging forward, Rasheeda standing her ground, Kirk trying to pull them apart while yelling her name over and over. Cups spilled, chairs toppled, and someone screamed for security. Producers shouted cut, but no one stopped. It was too late. Cabo had gone completely off the rails. When it was finally over, Jasmine stormed out, makeup smeared, yelling that the footage better not air. Rasheeda stood alone, chest heaving, hair messy from the chaos. Kirk tried to approach again, but she shook her head and whispered, "Not now." The villa was silent except for the sound of cameras being turned off. Carly whispered to Kendra, "Girl, Atlanta about to lose its mind when this airs." Hours later, when most of the crew had gone, Rasheeda sat on the balcony, staring at her phone again. The message thread with Kirk blinked on the screen, unread messages stacked beneath his name. She played the voice note one last time, that same smooth tone saying Jasmine's name like it meant something. She closed her eyes, and for a moment, she wasn't the TV star, not the boss, not the wife holding everything together. She was just a woman realizing that love, when built on lies, eventually crumbles, no matter how many cameras are rolling. The next morning, the villa looked calm again, but the calm was fake. Everyone knew the footage would leak within hours. Tasha K had already posted a cryptic tweet, "Something messy brewing in Cabo, stay tuned." And when that tweet went up, it was over. The internet caught fire. Fans dissected every rumor, and the hashtags #CaboChaos and #VoiceLeak were everywhere. Kirk and Jasmine trended for all the wrong reasons, and Rasheeda's silence only made things worse. People wanted a statement, but she stayed quiet. Sometimes silence says more than any caption ever could. But behind the scenes, things were already moving. Mona Scott-Young, who had seen every scandal imaginable, was on the phone with the network, arguing about how much of the footage could air. "We can't cut it," she said. "This is the moment. This is ratings gold." Kirk's team tried to block it legally, Jasmine threatened to sue, and Rasheeda refused to sign off on her confessional scene. But Mona wasn't backing down. "If they don't want to film, fine," she said. "We'll build the whole finale around Cabo." By that evening, producers were already cutting teasers. Dramatic music, quick flashes of Rasheeda yelling, Jasmine's smirk, Kirk's panicked face, it was all there. The tagline read, "Love lies," and a voice note that changed everything. Within minutes of posting, it hit 1 million views. Fans flooded the comments, demanding answers, begging for the full episode. Rasheeda saw the clip and turned off her phone. Kirk sat in another room, scrolling through reactions, every one of them calling him out. Jasmine posted a photo with the caption "Unbothered," but everyone knew it was damage control. In the world of Atlanta's reality TV, scandals come and go, but Cabo was different. This wasn't scripted drama anymore. This was betrayal, raw and unfiltered, caught live, and once the cameras had it, there was no going back. If you thought Cabo was wild, you haven't seen what comes next. The footage you just heard is only a glimpse of how deep this story goes, because when the truth finally comes out, it won't just shake Kirk and Rasheeda, it's going to flip the entire Atlanta scene upside down. Producers are already scrambling, lawyers are calling, and the people who swore they'd never speak are starting to talk. It's no longer about one voice note or one argument by the beach. It's about every secret that's been buried under the cameras, every deal made in the dark, and every friendship that was only real when the lights were on. Rasheeda hasn't said a single word publicly since that night. No statements, no interviews, no shade. That silence is louder than any post she could make. Insiders say she's cutting ties, rebuilding from scratch, and refusing to play the game that made her famous. But others whisper that she's planning her biggest move yet, one that'll leave Kirk and Jasmine both speechless. The only question now is whether she'll do it on her own terms, or on camera, with the world watching. And Kirk. He's been spotted around Atlanta, keeping his head down, wearing that same guilty look that fans recognize all too well. Sources close to him say he's desperate to fix things, trying to get Rasheeda to meet, promising to explain, saying it wasn't what it sounded like. But let's be honest, how many times can you explain the same mistake before it stops being a mistake? The internet isn't buying it anymore. Fans are done giving him chances. They've seen too much. As for Jasmine, she's out here pretending she's the calm in the storm, posting quotes about moving on and being unbothered, but everyone knows that's the first sign someone's bothered. Deep down, she knows this isn't over. Once that Cabo episode airs, Every eye will be on her, every camera waiting to see if she breaks. Because say what you want about Jasmine, she knows how to stay in the spotlight. But this time, it might burn too hot to handle. What's wild is that this whole thing started with one voice note. One slip, one careless moment that turned into a hurricane. It's proof that in this world, nothing stays hidden forever. Phones get hacked, footage leaks, and when the truth shows up, it doesn't knock it, kicks the door down. Cabo was supposed to be a luxury getaway, a break from the tension back home, but instead it became the breaking point, the trip that turned friends into enemies and love into ammunition. People online are calling it the voice note that ended Atlanta, and maybe they're right. Because after this, nobody's story will stay the same. Not Kirk's, not Jasmine's, not Rasheeda. Everyone's brand, every partnership, every contract, they're all hanging by a thread. Even the network is under pressure to handle it carefully. One wrong edit, one misplaced clip, and careers could vanish overnight. But they know what they have in their hands. It's chaos, heartbreak, betrayal, and real emotion, and that's exactly what keeps viewers coming back. And now, all eyes are waiting for the reunion episode. Fans are already predicting who's going to walk off, who's going to fight, and who's going to expose who next. Because you know Rasheeda won't sit there quietly. Not after Cabo. Not after Cabo. If she shows up, she's showing up ready. With proof, with composure, and maybe even a few surprises of her own. And if Jasmine tries to play innocent, she might just find out that Rasheeda's silence wasn't weakness. It was strategy. So if you've been following this saga from the beginning, don't blink now. Because this is the moment everything changes. When the full episode drops, it's going to break the internet all over again. Expect live reactions, fan theories, and maybe even a few people from Atlanta chiming in to pick sides. It's not just TV anymore, it's history in the making. And here's the truth. In this world, loyalty is rare, love is temporary, and fame is forever hungry. Kirk and Jasmine might think they've survived worse. But Cabo proved that sometimes the past doesn't come back quietly, it comes back screaming. And Rasheeda, the woman everyone thought would walk away defeated, might just be the one who rewrites the ending. So stay tuned, keep your notifications on, because the next time you see the words Rasheeda, Kirk, and Jasmine trending together, it won't just be about a leaked voice note, it'll be about redemption, revenge, and reality turning into something way too real. This story isn't over, it's only getting started. And when the truth finally plays out, you'll remember exactly where you were when Cabo went crazy.